So, Paul asked me to hit some certain topics. Right?
Other than switchblades.
Yeah, other than switchblades. and we're going to touch on growth.
Growth.
Growth and pain. How you must suffer in order to grow. And I think that's one of the incredible notes, especially with all the podcasts and things we like to look on online. That's a kind of that's the backing to most of the fundamental concept of growth is you must suffer. Goggins, everybody, this concept of
Goggins,
whether it's physical or mental, you kind of have to sacrifice to grow. You must shed your skin, which is difficult to do in order to grow, right?
So we're going to hit that. What else?
What else are we going to hit? We were going to hit women. Do you want to talk about something?
I thought you had dessert. Dessert. Women. Yeah. So that'd be the last thing. So
last thing, all right.
Growth.
This is the fork.
And then, if we do want to piss some people off, so we can talk about Trump.
We can talk about Trump a little bit. My boy.
Yeah.
We can talk about my boy. Oh my God, Lord Jesus, Mary. you got. No, I mean, we have these other things to hit, but I think we hit the button right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the thing that's great about Trump, and you could talk about events, you can talk about the speed, you can talk about the change, you can talk about democracy. It literally spearheads so many societal topics. Honestly,
yeah,
you can break down a Trump conversation to everything, to DEI, to just to the complete facets of the establishment and kind of way we live our lives. He's a galvanizing mudda.
Well, the one thing that scares me about this whole thing that's going on daily is that he's trying to actually do the right thing. He's trying to find out who's getting Social Security checks and they shouldn't be getting it. He's finding out that people don't even work for the government and people are getting that money. He's finding out billions of dollars that are being put out to other countries while America doesn't even have enough money to take care of North Carolina, Hawaii, or even Palestine in Ohio. Our big topics have not been taken care of. And the people, you got to wonder, he's going to be fighting about $1 trillion worth of money. And I always wonder, well, why are there so many scared people in the government?
You know why?
Because they're guilty. Because they've been the ones spending all the tax dollars, spending every single cent. I mean, when I was back in New York for the 4 months, I would get my checks back once a week. And I would easily have $1,000 taken out of it. A week, $1,000 in taxes a week. That's bullshit.
Yeah, it's what you and I always talk about. I guess to slowly get into the subject, it's what I call the anti-globalist movement, and it's ideological.
Yeah.
It's not only economic, but it's very ideological. And it's not anti-capitalism, but it's always pro-capitalism. It's just that we're too dependent on the East China to survive. And with the advent of the virus, it's, capitalism is Asian now. It's controlled by Asia. And pecking order changes. And as our society goes down, this is the big issue for me, is think about it. Trump's in 30 days. And just 2 months ago, we're talking about complete American economic collapse, can't pay its debt.
Okay.
No one wants to bring that up anymore, right? So we went from almost needing a bailout from other countries. I don't even know how this would work. To now talking about sending out checks to citizens on all the money that they're saving. And so this is what I really get into, is that when society starts to go down, we've never really seen the Western world go down. We're seeing it dim. And as it dims, like history teaches us, rights dim as well.
Oh, yeah. Censorship, yeah.
Censorship. Oh. So as society dims, there's no coincidence that with the rise of our civilization, the rise of rights come with it. And as it goes down there, so this is where I really started to get scared, is that the rights are starting to shrivel away like, quick dip in Lake Erie. You know what I mean? Um, and that's kind of what really scared me. And to see a complete confrontation to what I believed was the globalist movement backed by the decolonization movement. And within that, its ideology of DEI and social control. It was kind of being engineered that the Western world was to fall eventually. And it was just to fall and make it look like it fell by capitalist competition to a rising empire.
Well, even not only say that, but 80% of all our pharmaceuticals are made in China.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty crazy. So that means that all the I don't know if I'm allowed to say the V word anymore on YouTube, but all those things, all the jabs that were given to us were made in China. And then not only that, I think China it wants to destroy America. Then all of a sudden, now we find all the infertility rates that are happening now in America. Or not only that, but even around the world. But I'll even go further beyond that. I mean, with Trump, the guy was arrested, prosecuted for a misdemeanor. Okay, I'm a former New York City police officer.
Not up to a felony, so it'd be federal.
And it was all thrown out of court anyway. His house has been raided. Okay, he's been shot. Every single child in his family have been they've been taken to court. They've been actually had warrants against them. They've had to appear in court. Okay, and then we'll go even beyond that. They went through every single tax record. They went through every single receipt from every single accountant that ever worked for him. They went through every single.
Paul, this plays into what I have mentioned is as society goes down, most societies, first time we're seeing the Guinea of Western society, rights go with it. And we were seeing rights taking away from the political opposition, from ourselves during COVID. And this was basically the idea. It's my belief that endgame of globalism was to introduce Western world citizens that live within a constitution, introduce us into a global citizenry. And the model citizen would be a typical Chinese citizen, and how they're run by their economic system and their political system.
Work, and we'll tell you how many children you should have.
So Paul mentioned that, China this to us, and I just wanted to elaborate on that. China's taking orders.
Yes. They're communists.
No, they're taking orders. Just like from the same people that were giving Bush, Biden, Clinton, basically every globalist president orders, right? And it's a complete and slow degrading of the Western world. And a transfer of wealth that's just massive. And so this is what I ask my friends. It's usually out of this chat, and maybe I'll ask you. How does free trade benefit you? Because that's what this is really about. It's about a president coming in that's not elected by the people, a democratic concept.
Through COVID, through all the illegal ballots that were put everywhere.
Oh, you can get into Trump is the most galvanizing figure to come since Winston Churchill. And the only thing that Trump ever said, honestly, the only thing that Trump ever said that made me say, this guy's a fucking idiot, was when he compared himself years ago to Winston Churchill. They said, this guy saved the Western world. This guy saved the world from the Nazis. How can you compare yourself? And as time marches on, if Winston was here to lead us to take on the Nazis and that ideology, Trump is here to lead us from the abyss that's being designed in front of us and guide us away.
Well, the most badass thing I've ever heard, probably in my whole entire life. I mean, I saw the movie Gladiator. I saw Top Gun. I've seen tons of really badass movies. But when I saw Trump get shot, And then he went down and he got up bloody. And what did he say? Fight. 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 We knew he won. We knew that, things are coming back. We knew that, this is not a battle for America. This is not a battle for just, states or votes. This is a battle for souls and for morality and for the future, like children. Okay, for the real things that matter. This is a fight for families.
No, it touches into every facet of life. What Trump is doing, what politics is, what a change of ideology. You listen to this guy on YouTube. Oh my God, he's the older gentleman. He's bald. He's just so.
Russia's dead.
Victor Davis Hansen.
No, I have not.
Is incredible. He's an analyst. And he has I think it's called the Daily, I don't know what it's called, the Daily something is his website. He talks about how what the anti-globalist movement really is, it's a counter-revolution.
Yeah.
Because what was happening the past 10 years in politics and 30 years in society, maybe 30 years in politics, was the real revolution. Look how much the world has changed in 4 years. Women playing in men's sport. Another facet. I'm not playing women's sport, biological men and women's sport. That's another just facet to society, right? And we can talk about this in everything. Huge debt loads. Not doing anything for yourselves, being totally energy dependent.
It's not
on
even
OPEC and other concepts.
But it's not even debt. They're stealing our taxes.
A breakdown of the family unit, gender concept of this, everything economic slide. Like nobody's been. Can you believe this? For example, Kamala Harris campaign on literally what was $1 trillion tax increase and the hiring of 80,000, how do you call it, IRS agents
armed
to go after people's money. This is how the ideology of the decolonization. This one called decolonization. It's trying to. This is where DEI comes in. The backbone of this ideology is colonization was the worst thing to hit the world. We got to decolonize the world, family, sex, and everything. It's the backbone of the globalist movement, just a concept. And so there's a complete democratic challenge to it now, which is so interesting because the media will say that there's a slide to the right now. And who is saying
globally?
That? Who is saying that? This progressive authoritarian 10-20% of the population. That's why most issues are 80-20. 80% support 20 and 20 support 88. And basically what they've done is tried to decolonize the belief, tried to decolonize thanks, Sandy. Touching my lap there. I might be rambling, so just to say that we aren't seeing a slide to the right. We're seeing a new movement. Within this new movement, the decolonization movement, which we call America First, and everybody else is going to call MAGA, make Argentina, make Canada, make Britain, make that, and it's all going to slide globally like a wildfire in California. We don't know if this is right or left or where we are. We know it's probably center. It's a new movement. We've never seen moves like this before. We don't know if these moves are right or left. They're just self-interested. It's like, I'm too dependent on global apparatuses for my own country's people's survival. It's too much.
And thank God for this medium. Thank God for these new mediums like X, like YouTube. Even YouTube's a little, they'll take things off their channel if they don't agree with it. But Rumble, thank God for these mediums that are now, they're getting out there. They are the real educators of the world. Not these universities that tell you, you do this, that, or you're damned. They literally tell you that from like a little kid's age. But then you go into high school, then you go into college. You get almost every single aspect of that. They're trying to brainwash you. But you know what?
And you can see the tide turning.
Yeah.
You can really feel it. Like it's something is galvanizing the world and people are getting behind it. I won't say that governments are getting behind it, but it's so interesting to see Trump go around the world trying to pick a fight and nobody taking it.
No.
And we had that issue here in Colombia with Petro.
Yeah.
Petro took the bait. Petro tried to pick a fight.
Yeah.
Colombians and foreigners, we had different views on what happened, and people here think like a lot of people, like our friends here in Cali, it's a very not progressive place, think that Petro really shined and backed Trump down.
So the key is be very careful of the people that want to audit you, the 95,000 IRS agents that want to audit you, and the people that are in charge of them, they don't want to get audited. Be very scared of that. Be very, very scared of that.